All right, hey, welcome to HIT. This is Chris Cicchinelli. We're talking high-intensity tactics for growth, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of math, so I hope you have a pen, a piece of paper, because this is going to be a podcast that could change the way you look at each and every day. I love seeing all of the different comments. I love seeing it on iTunes when you rate and review. It's amazing to see all the different feedback. It's great. I ran into a couple people this week as I was speaking at a local event here in Cincinnati, or Avid podcast, Rise and Grinders, and also not only that, but also getting on to HIT here and giving some big, huge shout outs to them. So thanks so much for coming up and telling me yesterday. It was awesome to meet you. But I got to talk a little bit about what this book that I read a couple years changed my life, and that is Where Will You Be in 5 Years from Today? And it was great because I'm sitting here and I am in Starbucks. I go through and I see this thing on the counter. It says, the truth is you can really turn any what if into what is. That's exactly why I picked up this book. I was sitting there reading, I'm, kind of going through it and said, decide what the next in your life and what are you going to strategize? How are you going to get it? So I'm like just kind of reading the first page. And that really kind of was one of the things that hit me was the truth is you can really turn any what if into what is. And so I started picking up this book, and this is a book that basically, changed a lot of the ways that I looked at my business and the ways I looked at my life, especially in a world today that, so much of our life is built off of Instagram and Facebook. I think a lot of us are actually documenting our lives and not living our lives. If you think about it, everything you do is you're at a game or you're at a concert and you're actually taking pictures and watching the concert on your cell phone, or you're watching the sporting event on your cell phone, taking videos of what's actually happening instead of living in the actual moment. And it was kind of ironic because we kind of look at our lives each day and we're sitting there thinking, hey, What are we going to get from today? What's going to end up happening to us? But I think some of us that are definitely strategizing, we're sitting there thinking, what is going to happen for the next 5 years? What's our 5-year program look like? What are we going to do with our lives, our families, our friends, the places that we're going to get to travel? And that was what I really, really loved about this book. Now, here's the math part of this, because I think it's important, because some people are like, 5 years. Oh gosh, what, I got time. Why do I want to plan so far out in my life? I mean, I'm 25, I'm 32, I'm 21, and I'm listening to this and I'm going, wow, what, why do I care what's going to happen in 5 years? Well, here's why. Take out a pen and a piece of paper. All right. So I'm going to have you do a little bit of math. Now, I'll use myself in this equation, right? So, all right. So, I've been alive for 44 years. So, I'm going to take 44 times 365 days, okay? So, if you're out there, take your age and multiply that by 365. Now, that's going to give you the age of days that you've been alive on this planet. Okay, so when I come up with my number, I get 16,060 days that I've been alive. Now, the crazy part is the average person lives 27,375 days is what the average lifespan is. So here I am. I take 27,000, okay? I subtract my 16,060 days that I've been alive, and I come to 11,315 days that I have left. See, I've lived over half of my life already. It's kind of crazy when you start thinking about that way, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I've not really thought about that. So some of you are probably doing the math and you're going, okay, do that math again. What is that one more time? Okay, take your age times 365 days. Okay, that's going to be how many days you've been alive. You take that and you subtract your days alive by 27,375 days. That's going to give you how long you've been here. And it's going to get you to start thinking a bit about things differently and how you want to make sure that you're going through life. Because here's the things that I want you to sit back and you kind of, as you go back and you're writing down and you're thinking about all the things that you have to kind of do in your day or whatever, I'm going to give you like 7 things that I would say, hey, concentrate a little bit more on, concentrate a little bit further on. Because as I went through the book, these were things that really kind of changed my outlook on how I was going to attack each and every day. If I have 11,000 days left and somebody goes, that's a lot of days. Well, I don't think so, because that means I've already lived 16,000 days and I don't feel like I've been living at all. I feel like I've got way more to do, more things to attack, more pieces to be excited about, more trips to take, more time with my kids. This isn't a morbid talk. This is a talk of saying, hey, what are you going to do each day to make sure that you appreciate those days, make sure you're excited about those days? So if you got that pen and paper that you just had out, here's what I think. Number one is this: life is way too short to be pissed off. Life's way too short to be pissed. Some people are angry about things didn't work out, a party might have canceled, something might have fell through in somebody that they're trying to sell or trying to bring into their business, or something didn't work out, a flight was delayed. I'm sitting there thinking, wow, a flight was delayed. Well, you can be pissed about your 2-hour flight delay, or you can have your ass on a Greyhound bus and be, you're just lucky that you're traveling the certain way you're traveling. But people are frustrated anymore. They get frustrated when things don't go absolutely their way of how they thought it should go. Instead, it's too short. And you've heard that way for your entire life. It's too short to be pissed, too short to be angry, too short to be mad. And it is. I already have half of my life I've lived, and I'm sitting there going, well, why would I be angry about something? I want to be happy. What's the back half look like? How do you make sure that you're going to be excited about that? The other thing is this. Number 2, keep your word. In a world that everybody's looking for the next best event, the next best thing, we're all kind of hedging our bets of, should we accept that invitation or should we accept that invitation? You know what? That one sounds a lot better than the one we already said yes to. and then we go over here and do something completely different. We go over and do the other one instead of going to the first person we said because we got a better offer. That happens all. You know how often I hear my friends saying, oh, well, I was going to go over there with Clint and go over there with Bob. I was going to go do their event, but this sounded so much better. And I'm sitting there going, wait, you told somebody you're going to do something and you didn't keep your word? Yeah, well, it just didn't seem as fun as your event was going to be, Chris. Well, shit, I know what kind of person. Man, that means I got to have all kinds of great events or you're not going to come, right? Because if there's somebody that throws a better event than mine, you're just going to leave my event to go to theirs. No, I wouldn't do that. No, I got your number. I got it. You keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it, you do it. If you're going to say that you're going to be there to somebody's house at 7:30, be on time. Be to somebody's house at 7:30. If you say, hey, listen, you know what? We're going to have a meeting and I'm going to be at Starbucks at whatever time. Be there. Keep your word. Even when you get a better offer, I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard, but keeping your word is a big, big thing that I don't see a lot of people doing in these days. Forgive everyone. Forgive everyone. People are going to make mistakes. People are going to have different things that are going to come up, right? But the most important person to forgive is forgive yourself. I think that's one thing that we do not do enough. I didn't forgive myself enough. I was always harder on myself, in business, personal. I always sit back and worry about, I'm always traveling or always gone. I feel like I'm never, never, ever forgiving myself. But hey, listen, I've learned now that I got to give myself a break sometime. If not, I'm just going to continue beating myself up, and I'm going to start listening to my inner voice about how bad I am. I'm not good enough. You're always messing up. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to start believing my inner voice instead of start believing the really positive inner voice about, hey, Chris, you messed up. It is all right. Hey, learn from your mistakes. What are you going to gain from it? How are you going to improve the next time? Forgiving. Okay, important. Number 4 is moving forward, right? We can't move backwards. If you've been in my future leader class, which I teach about, I'm always about progress over perfection, right? Moving forward. I think that's the most important thing. I never want to be the person that is going backwards in life, backwards in business, backwards with friends, backwards in relationships. I think it's so much harder to restart things, restart a business, restart a relationship when you're moving backwards. Think about a train, right? When that train is going up that hill and that train has got momentum, I don't care how slow the momentum is, as long as that train is moving forward, it's going to get to that peak of that hill and it's going to come down. But once that damn train stops, and to try to get that momentum going, all what you'll find is because that load is so heavy, the time is so hard, it seems like it's constantly spinning on that track. It doesn't get anywhere. And sometimes, because it's spinning so hard, it loses the grip of the track and starts moving backwards. That's why you got to keep moving forward. Your speed of how you move forward might change. Some of you might be explosive, gone, out the door. That's cool. Some might be, hey, you might have had that explosive growth, but maybe you need to slow down a little bit. Maybe you had some family things that are going on. You didn't stop, but you keep slowly moving until that situation or that issue is behind or that whatever it might be, and then you're moving fast again. It's just part. What I see most business do is they going up that train and all of a sudden they stop because something detours them over here. Something in life, something in a situation that they was out of their proverbial control. And then they stop moving forward and they start sliding back. Constantly keep moving forward. It's hugely important. If nothing else, I would tell you that's one of the biggest reasons I'm sitting in the chair that I'm sitting in right now, is I didn't stop moving forward. I had a lot of people throw a lot of stuff on top and have a lot of loads I had to carry for other people. But I will tell you right now, the speed changed a lot. There were some days it was really, really fast. Some days it was really, really at a crawl, but it was still moving that forward. Quit worrying. I know it's hard for people that are listening, especially people that have anxiety, people that are constantly worried about, Armageddon, what's going to happen with my business. Look, I have a piece of worrying too. I worry about certain things in life. Like, my biggest thing is I worry about making sure everything's put away. I've saved for rainy days. I got my retirement funds, all those types of things. I think that's a piece that I know that I've got to be controlled on and say, quit worrying about. You can't control the stock market, Chris, but what you can control is how much money you go out there and make each and every day. I can't control, I can control my investments and what I put my money into, right? But I can't control how the investments do. There's going to be some that are up, some that are down. But I got to quit worrying about things in life that, I think too many people worry about things that are out of their control. Now, I can control my travel schedule. I can control, how many days I want to work. Like a lot of people that are listening to this, right? You can control how many people you go out and talk to in a day. You can control how many people that you network with. You can control if you want to make some sales or not make some sales. It's just a quantity of how many calls you want to make. Can't sit back and worry. I think too many people, waste time on worrying instead of doing. I think most people worry instead of just working. I think if you work instead of worry, you're going to find yourself in a much better situation. Number 6, be grateful. I think that's the big thing, is when we look at our lives, it's, being grateful. I was telling Cheryl today, our vice president of sales, and I said, there's some days that I get frustrated. Like the other day, I'm flying to Chicago, and here I am, going, daggone it, we have an hour delay. My meeting schedule got pushed back a little bit, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, great, I get pushed back off an air flight, right? Like I could have had to drive up there. I could have had to, been in a bus or whatever, another source of transportation, but I wasn't. And I wasn't grateful that, look, I worked my butt off, and the company was able to, fly me up to Chicago. I was able to go there. Yeah, it is what it is. Something didn't work out in my favor. But being grateful for my relationships, right? Being grateful for some of my friends, be grateful that, people ask, to go to dinner. I think that's awesome. I do see people bitch a lot about, oh my God, I got to go out to dinner tonight, or I've got this event that I got to go to. Be grateful you got a damn invitation to the event. Be grateful that somebody actually wants to have dinner with your ass. Be grateful. I think that's a very, very important lesson for all of us. And last thing is this: it's the little things in life, man. You hear that so much. It's the little things. It's the little things. It is the little things. It's the little things that create the kind of the experiences for us. It's the little things. It's the little conversations that we have with our kids, the conversations that we have with our staff, our family. It's those little things add up to be great memories for each and every one of us. I don't think we want to forget those, especially if you're sitting there saying, man, I'm looking at this and I got 16,000 days left. Or if I'm sitting here and I got 10,000 days left, or you're listening to this, how are you going to live differently, man? Where will you be in 5 years from today? That's the book. Pick it up. It's a great read. It's something that really got me thinking differently. And how was I going to spend the next, next 11,000 days of my life is, I want to be grateful. I want to make sure that I understand life is way too short to bitch. I want to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep my word as best as I can to my friends, my family, all the different things that I can. I'm going to quit worrying about the things I can't control, right? Those are the things that I need to just punt. And being grateful. Remember, you have the pen to write the chapters to living your life by design. You have the tool yourself to go out there each and every day to make your life, make your family's life better. This is HIT, High Intensity Tactics with Chris Cicchinelli. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Enjoy. Till the next time.